Good afternoon. BLOTT Podcast Network is in the building. Your host, Montana. Retired the whoop.
Good, you retired it?
I retired it.
Okay.
Retiring it.
And the co-host, Vern Tires. All right, and we're going to talk about a little bit of stuff to help y'all out, especially with the questions about 501c3s today. But before we get into that, we're going to start talking about...
Let's do announcements.
Yeah.
Announcements.
Let's
Okay.
do announcements.
So, for August, you guys been waiting for the group home training to start back up in August with Ms. Doris Jacobs to get your state certificates to open up group homes. It is starting up on August the 3rd. That's the first class here at the BLOTT, what is it, the BLOTT, what am I calling it, the BLOTT home?
The BLOTT Institution at 503 East 200th Street, Suite 103.
Yes. So that the times for the group home training will be from 11 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. So you will be there all day. Bring comfortable shoes, pillow if you need one. Bring lunch, breakfast, dinner, partial dinners. The second class will start August the 17th, 2024. Same time, 503 East 200th Street, Suite 103. We're in Euclid, Ohio.
What can they get out that class?
So in the group home training, what you'll be learning is how to start a group home. So how to start your group home up, the rules and regulations, responsibilities that you will have, how to start this business successfully. Miss Doris Jacobs, she is a phenomenal instructor on the group home training. You will get 2 certificates. So you will get, I think, 3 certificates. So the first one will be for the first class, the first week, and then your last class is like not administrative, but medications and mental health is the second class. She will go over policy and procedures with you, how to start your group home, what do you need to get the group home up and running successfully. She will go over medications, awareness of mental health from who is coming in your home. So if you want to do a veterans home, you want to do a aging out of foster care with kids, if you want to do homeless for women, if you want to do homeless for men, she covers basically all of the requirements to start that group home successfully. And then that is going to be, like I said, August the 3rd and August 17th. So keep those in your notes. Also, BLOTT is going to be doing a nonprofit for-profit class starting August the 18th from 1:30 to 4:30. It's going to be on a Sunday. And then you're going to learn how to start your nonprofit up. If you have any questions about a nonprofit, how to build your nonprofit successfully. And then you're also going to be learning how to start a for-profit business and how to get that branded and up and running and successful. All right, so that's going to be, again, August the 18th at BLOTT. 503 East 200th Street, Suite 103.
Tell them more about, because that's one of our poster childs is that class, that BLOTT class, learning how to put together a nonprofit and for-profit, and not just putting the two things together, but understanding the behavior, how to structure them where they have limited liability against each other and from its owners and operators. So, just give them a breakdown on how that is going, like from week 1 to week 7.
So, basically, I think you know more about the week 1 and you more good at talking about that. But I will say that once people start getting the business, start structuring it, then they come with a lot of questions, a whole lot of questions that, they've been wondering or they just didn't know. And then once we break things down to them about the business, about starting it from beginning to end, how it works, how it functions, questions that you probably wouldn't think about them asking. Mm-hmm. Then we tell them, I didn't know this was supposed to be like that, or I didn't know my tax bracket was this, or I didn't know about, a 1099, or I didn't know about a sole proprietorship and what's the difference between an S Corp, a C Corp, LLC. I didn't know that my business needed an operating agreement or bylaws or things of that standard. So pretty much that's the things we run into when we're doing this nonprofit. And a lot of people that help people kind of like put their nonprofits together, they put the paperwork together per se. So it's like, okay, you pay me, I'll put your paperwork together, and then here's your paperwork, you're a nonprofit, congratulations, and go open your business. With that being said, is a lot of people come here because now you got this business, or we call a baby. You got this baby that was born. Now what you do with it? How you feed this baby? How this baby gonna have resources? What's gonna be coming in? So then we sit with you, and then that way you kind of demonstrate or write down or help you write down some of the things that should go next about taking care of this baby. So my glass is kind of blurry. Go ahead.
Yep. So she's exactly right. When we start talking about these different organizations, we start talking about putting together an entity that can survive on its own, that can operate as a standalone entity besides you without dealing with your money and your financial support. And what happens is a lot of people they want to be entertained. So I see why TikTok has its purposes, why Instagram has its purposes. It's necessary evil because people like to be entertained to get this information. But a lot of information is not going out right, or sometimes it's misinformation. So this is the proper class for you to come to and realize, okay, first and foremost is how should you as an individual operate financially and mitigate risk personally. So that's when we get to talking about your protection, how you save money, and how you grow your personal wealth. So then after you get that understanding, then that's week one of the class. Week two of the class is now, since you understand how to protect, save, and grow your own personal, how do you create an entity that's going to be separate from you? Now you're going to teach it how to protect first, save, and then grow. And all of that stems from, talking about the different authorities that you have as a manager of a business. You didn't hear me say owner, is that right?
Right.
When you're a nonprofit, you're not the owner of the nonprofit either. So it's all about managing it in some shape or form. And then we start talking about the funding opportunities that's out there. And understand this. And I know a lot of y'all getting a lot of information about funding opportunities from TikTok, and then when you go apply for it, you're getting turned down. Well, this is the perfect place to come to. And not only that, we also offer funding opportunities here. So we're going to go to the funding opportunities. That's somewhere around week 5, how to carry yourself to be credible and bankable. And then we go into a lot of the behavior. How do you behave as an individual, manager, maybe owner of an organization, and have the organization behave on its own where y'all are clear and separate and apart from each other. So that's a lot of things that's going to happen from week 1 all the way to week 7. And then later on, we're going to talk a little bit more about the nonprofit and its purpose. What's more important about the nonprofit? Not just information, boring information. Montana has a very good way of getting you excited and putting the sexy on the nonprofit and its purpose. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. All right? So, Montana,
Yes, sir.
if you will, tell us not about the charitable gifting part, but the reason why a lot of people come here, and that's the poster child, it's the nonprofit.
So a lot of people come here because they want to sit down with us and they want to learn or invest in themselves about their baby, which is that nonprofit. And sometimes they have a twin, which is that for-profit business, how to run the two of them simultaneously together without them being like intertwined together. So when they sit down with us and they invest in themselves and invest in the business, we're now structuring and teaching them how to operate this business successfully. So basically, some people think they know a lot of things about business and everything, but sometimes that might be on a consumer basis where they might be a LLC and working as a sole proprietor and not at LLC working as by itself. So with the with the nonprofit, basically, a lot of people have passions that they want to put together. They have, maybe some person in their family might have passed away, and they want to, build a foundation, or someone they always had in their heart to, help in the community or help doing, this or that, and they want to put together a foundation that's going to expedite their passion to get it done in a faster way. And they had their passion is with a whole bunch of other people, and now everybody is joined to help in that one movement to get that foundation up and going. So those are some of the things that the nonprofit can give back. Before we get into the charitable gifting, I have a story to tell, if that's okay.
That's okay.
So I want you to join in, chime in on it, because it's
Uh-oh.
something that happened to me. I was invited to a meeting. It was a big meeting, a community meeting, a community event. And I'm not gonna say where it's at because y'all pinpoint who it was and saying names and all this other stuff. So I was invited to a community event meeting. I went there, and it was a lot of older people that were in the room. They were all homeowners. And one of the speakers, I guess he was a well-known speaker, and he have a lot of accomplishments and a lot of things that he has done in the community. So the topic was, how can these older people that own these homes, free and clear, gain resources for them because they had like medicine they had to pay for. They couldn't afford, this grass cutting. They couldn't afford certain things. As being a homeowner in the community, they needed help from the community. Say, hey, we're old now. Our kids don't want our real estate. How can you guys help us? So one of the persons that was in the room, he has a nonprofit organization, and he invited the speaker. And the speaker said, well, we're going to help you guys open up Roth IRAs. So when he said that, I kind of like almost fell out my seat when he said that. I said, well, wait a minute now. So you're going to open up Roth IRAs for everybody in this room so they can start, putting money into the Roth IRA. Now, again, these people were older people, like 70s, late 70s, early 80s, maybe late 80s. And they was like, yeah. So then I noticed that there were healthcare providers in the room too, like nursing home healthcare providers, like RNs and things like that. And basically I said, well, you already have a nonprofit. I think the Roth IRA is not a good idea for, somebody's older person's money to be tied up in that. And you don't know when they're going to, go. So since you have a nonprofit and everybody in here is members of the nonprofit, why don't they donate all their real estate to the nonprofit? And so it got heated. Let's just say it got heated in there. I got kicked out. And then, I haven't been back to another meeting since. But what would you say, or what's your take on it?
Well,
And
you know me. I don't give advice to a whole bunch of people. Even though I'm a financial advisor, has been doing this for 20 years, I don't give blanket advice to a mass majority or a whole bunch of people in one sitting. Everybody has a very intricate. It sounds like it's an intricate situation, but everybody's situation is unique to their own personal needs.
right.
But a Roth IRA, for somebody just to give out a blanket suggestion to invest in a Roth IRA, or maybe they were saying move their real estate into a Roth IRA. I'm not sure because now we have those capabilities. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't give that suggestion to the crowd. When it come down to moving houses into a nonprofit, still I take the same approach. But again, what are these people here for? They were here to build up the community. And if they didn't have heritage or some type of legacy where they wanted to leave the real estate to their kids,
Their kids didn't want
then
it.
there's multiple strategies. I don't want to just say multiple. There's many, many, many strategies in the nonprofit chassis that will allow them to benefit financially. But then again, that's one of them things. That's an option. That's probably a more open-ended option than that Roth IRA situation.
Right.
So it was. I don't know about that Roth IRA. That guy, I don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah, he
with
was
that.
very mad at me, like real mad. So
good for
I
him.
don't even know who he was.
Maybe he's mad enough to go figure out what he was talking about.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So based on that, we can talk about charitable gifting, giving you a little idea of what charitable gifting involves, how a nonprofit can benefit off of charitable gifting processes. And if you really want to know about charitable gifting, come to our program, sit in on the class, and then that way we can teach you step by step on charitable gifting processes and things of that nature. So,
yeah, it's a good segue to this. It's because first and foremost, when we think about charitable gifting, right, we always think about when you go to Walmart, you see the person out there with the red uniform and the red bill, and the can and all that stuff, and we dropping a couple coins in there. Or we thinking about St. Jude, or we thinking about giving away money to, the Ohio Patrolman Association or something like that.
Oh, the Girl
But
Scout, Boy Scout.
yeah, all of that stuff, right? So, which is the biggest gangster of all? The Girl Scouts. They some
Okay.
gangsters. They know how to
Yeah.
get them cookies sold. All right. But let's talk about the 5 reasons first. Why charitable gifting? There's 5 reasons that is at the top of our list when it comes down to charitable gifting, right? People donate money or donate assets because number one, they have the passion to uplift the community or society. All right. So that means they have a certain passion, and what they do is they dive in their purpose and figure out what it is they need to do to uplift that passion and that part of the community that they have so much passion for. Number two, for the belief that they owe the community something. Now everybody hasn't always been squeaky clean in their life. So you got some people that probably is ex felons, or you got some people that have that probably has ruined people's lives, or probably rehab from drugs or something like that, and they saying that I owe society back my service or money or some type of assets or resources to clean up this mess, right? That they probably contribute to. Number three, to support a favorite institution. Now, as a financial advisor, I didn't have plenty of affluent people and families that contribute to Shaw University, Fisk University, all these different schools, Ohio State, where they donated money or they donated real estate, pictures, paintings, and all that type of stuff. So people do this stuff, and we got to understand it's not only the other cultures that do it. Sometimes it's our cultures too, whether we know it or not. We got to be empathetic. Number four, for the recognition attained by a substantial donation. When you go into university hospitals, Cleveland Clinic, or even some of these universities out here, some of these colleges, and you see paintings, you see artwork, you may see signs on the street. Those come from charitable contributions from people who have money that want that recognition. So the recognition may be a stone in the ground, that big painting, and all of that stuff. So people are doing this stuff, really, really, really doing this stuff.
Yes, they are.
One of our comrades told me last week that you, Montana, was there at an auction where they raised $750,000.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yes.
In how many hours?
3.
3 hours.
3 hours.
$750,000 in 3 hours with a charitable gifting heart. All right. So, giving is part of life. It cleans the soul, and to be honest with you, it helps you understand how to be a great steward when you do charitable gifting. You cannot be rich, not learn how to give. A lot of times when you give, you got to open up your hand, right? And when that hand opens, what happens? That's when you receive, right? Because you can't receive anything with a closed hand. So if you close-handed, trying to hold on to something, then you're not going to receive anything. Number 5, which is the last one, the benefit, and this is the sexiest one right here. This is the one I love the most. The benefit from the financial incentives that our government gives us when we decide to patronize or provoke this charitable gifting spirit. All right. Now remember, financial incentive that the government gives you, and I compel you, entice you to be empathetic when you think about this. When you thinking about being a giver, and at the same time you a founder and manager of a 501c3, then that means that you're not only just giving, but you're receiving to be a great steward to give to the mission that you have started. That was my last one. So let's talk about why that's so sexy.
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5.
Number 5.
Going to what can be given.
Okay. What can be given? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. So basically, cash can be given, right?
Cash.
Cash.
Everybody like cash.
Right. So enormous amount. Like I had one lady call me and she asked me, well, if I write one grant, can I write another grant? You can write multiple grants, tons of grants. Okay. Cash can be given, tons of cash can be given. All right. So that's one. Real estate can be given to a nonprofit. Free and clear. Why would somebody get a real estate to my nonprofit?
I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
but I don't want you to go out there and try to do this on your own. Real estate can be given, especially if you closely involved with that nonprofit. Real estate can be donated because it can still serve the purpose of what you're doing for that nonprofit. So if I'm gifting cash to that nonprofit, and I'm afraid that I may have less years in front of me than I have in back of me, my real estate is something that can always give. So instead of me just giving cash to that nonprofit on a yearly basis, maybe I can donate to real estate and not pay taxes on it anymore. And it would be a gift that keeps on giving. Another reason why is because maybe I'm using that real estate to house some of the recipients. Maybe my nonprofit is a residential care facility.
Okay.
All right. And here it is, I'm paying taxes on it. It's too many of us over here that's operating a charitable gifting organization and not getting the full tax benefits because we don't know how to hold assets inside of a nonprofit. So if you're paying taxes on something that's giving to charity, why not get a tax break on it? So gift the property to your favorite charity. That way you can avoid paying $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000 taxes a year.
Okay. All right. So the third one is securities. So in securities, can you give an example of what a security, just in case?
Yeah.
What a security is? What could be a security for a nonprofit?
Securities is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. Let's call them investments, retail investments. Okay. And what does everybody invest in stocks or bonds for them to grow? And we call that capital appreciation when you cash it out. So, over the years of being an investment advisor, some people would cash out a stock just so they can give money to United Way, give money to St. Jude. Well, let me cash out a few shares, and then that's what we do. So what do? Most of them, they go to what we call capital gains tax just to do that, when all you had to do was really donate the stock to the 501c3.
Oh, okay.
That way you avoid the capital gains tax, and you don't have to claim that on your 1040.
Okay. That's a good explanation. All right. So life insurance. So everybody know, or if you don't know, you know now, life insurance can be donated to a nonprofit. Why would somebody want to donate their life insurance or have a company pull life insurance on them to give back?
That's a very good question.
To the nonprofit.
Okay. So if anybody gets involved into a nonprofit, whether it's a church, or if it was a fraternity that had, that partnered up with a 501c3, you got to remember the reason why you joined these organizations is because they lasted forever. And part of them lasting forever, having perpetuity, is the fact that they had the financial wherewithal. Life insurance is one of the greatest tools, and they've been using it for hundreds of years to save the existence of these organizations. If you talk about university, if you're talking about Cleveland Clinic, you're talking about some of the universities like Berea, Kentucky, they have endowments that have life insurance policies in them. So if you believe in these organizations so well, why not gift a $100,000 policy to them that will only cost you probably about $4,000 in a lifetime?
Wow, that's cheap.
So this is your legacy.
Yeah.
And if it's not your legacy, why are you involved? So found you or get with, participate with a nonprofit, and make sure that it's financially stable by some of the things that you put together.
And then if I had my own, I can participate in these benefits as a nonprofit as well.
You mean one that's close and near and dear to your heart? Okay.
Yeah. That's dear to my heart.
Yeah. You could. So that means if me and Montana put together a nonprofit hint, hint, nudge, nudge, BBLOTT, blot, and we wanted that thing to last for hundreds of years, then our first thing that we need to do is install life insurance in there to make sure that it lasts forever, right?
Right. All right. So retirement plans. Why would someone that done worked all their life and say, "Hey, I'm just gonna just donate my retirement to this nonprofit"?
Okay, now we running short on time. I'm gonna give a
Oh,
short
we're running short. Let me
explanation.
see. Okay.
I'm gonna give a short explanation on this one, and we ain't gonna do that last one. All right. So this is what happened, and most people don't understand this yet. But when you have a retirement plan like 401k, 401a, 403b, something like that, and you retired already, and some people, and believe it or not, some people don't spend their retirement, so Uncle Sam makes them cash it out. We call it RMDs, okay, required minimum distribution. So Uncle Sam makes you take this money out so he can get his money. He said, you didn't kept it in there too long. You didn't avoided paying me all this time. Now that you're 70 and a half, it's time for you to start giving me my money. So you take your money so you can give me my money. But one of the ways you can avoid that, especially if you have a nonprofit that's near and dear to you, is to start donating up to $100,000 to that nonprofit. We ain't gonna talk about the benefits of all of that right now because we're short on time. But it has a lot of financial benefits. A lot of financial benefits. And I'm gonna stop right there because we got about 3 minutes. And then what we need to do is we need to come out with some shout outs and get ready to close up.
Okay. Well, we got 3 minutes. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take a minute just to say back to the meeting that I was at in the real estate. A lot of a lot of people have family members that have that loved one that has real estate, and basically they wait to transfer over the real estate to the kids. Now, I know some people don't trust their kids or whatever, but if you wait too long and let's say you get sick, right? And basically you have to go into a nursing home. One of the things I was saying at the meeting is that, after you do the spend down, what's left is the real estate. So the real estate will go to the nursing home so they can kind of sell the real estate. Because I had one lady, she said I had to sell my mama's house in order to pay, in order to give it to the nursing home so she can qualify for Medicaid. Other than that, she wouldn't be able to qualify for the Medicaid until everything was gone. And that's kind of sad that you have to do that instead of just getting this is what I have for my kids. I'm going to give it to my kids. So I just wanted to say that. And we're going to touch on that next week along with the tangible personal property. All right. So shout outs. What shout outs you want to give out?
I want to give a shout out to us.
Okay, shout out to BBLOTT.
We back in motion. We got classes coming up.
Yes.
What is the classes again?
The class is going to be August the 18th from 1:30 to 4:30 here at 503 East 200th Street, Suite 103. If you're interested in signing up or getting information about registering for the class, call me at 216-978-0386. Again, that's 216-978-0386. We also have the group home training starting August the 3rd. So there's two classes starting up in August for the group home training. It's August the 3rd and August 17th from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's an all day. You're going to be it's going to be on a Saturday. So you're going to be there all day. You're going to get certificates to give to the state to get your group home up and running. What else is the shout outs?
And we got the financial services class. If you're interested in getting life insurance license, securities license, which means a license to sell or advise on investments, you can give Montana a call at
216-978-0386.
All right. And we will be running those classes individually if need be. All right. Yes. So you would get that one-on-one tutoring to pass your life insurance class, your securities class to be a financial advisor, and what other class you might need. We're going to have people that's giving away jobs at PNC Bank, Bankers Life, Prudential, and of course, GBC Financial Group housed right here at BBLOTT.
All right. So until then, next week, next Monday, see us again here at 3 o'clock at BBLOTT. What's it, BBLOTT?
BBLOTT Institution. How about that?
BBLOTT Inc. See y'all next week.
Peace.